Peace. What up, everybody? This your favorite actor, Hassan Johnson, and you're tuning in to StrictlyHipHop.com.
This is StrictlyHipHop.com. I am Miss Jayyiah, and I am in the presence of a veteran actor. We have been watching this man on the screen for 20 years, since 1995. Staten Island's own Hassan Johnson.
Hello, Jayyiah.
Hello. How are you doing?
Finding yourself?
I'm very good today, you know?
Good.
I'm happy that I'm really congratulations on your longevity.
Thank you.
You've been here for a while, and it's just great to maintain that. You know, I'm sure it's not easy. I'm sure you learned a lot of lessons in that.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I want to talk about your recent endeavors. Now, I'm so happy that you're showing us the lighter side of yourself these days. You're in a lot of comedies, starting with Ladies Love, Leo Littles.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, that's a film that I'm starring in and producing as well.
Mhm.
That's directed by Sean Murdoch for Red Handed Imagery. And basically, Leo Littles is like a romance comedy,
Mhm.
and its tagline, a lesson in chivalry, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what's missing nowadays, you know. And it's like, you know, we just want to take it back for good old time's sake and just show these younger cats, you know, how we used to have to do it in order to, you know, get a woman and, you know, you court her the right way, you know, the old school, treat her how you want your mom to be treated or your sister, you know, so and so forth.
Hold
so,
the door. Come on.
Yeah, all the regular stuff, you know, pull out a chair, you know, that kind of thing, you know. So anyway, that's what we're touching up on with that film, and it's funny, like I said, at the same time, and I'm the main character, Leo, of course, and then there's this other, you know, guy named Jason, who's a younger guy in the neighborhood. So what happens is I'm putting Jason on to, you know, how to treat a
Put
woman.
him on the game.
Yeah, like, you know, there's a certain young lady he's interested in, and he's asking me, as you know, a bit
tips
of
and jewels.
Yeah, you're like, you know, what should I do? How am I talking to her? And you know, Leo's like, what's your approach, Jay? And he's breaking it down. So at the end of it all, he ends up teaching Leo a lesson, because Leo keeps, you know, preaching this one type of walk, and then he's doing another. You know what I mean? So, you know,
it's definitely something we can learn from.
Yeah, it's one of those two. It's a little hidden message in there as well. So I think everybody appreciate it.
Yes, it seems fun, and they've been in production for a while. When is it set to release?
Well, yeah, this year for sure. I think maybe late summer. I think Sean wants to do it like maybe August, release it maybe August. We'll do like a screening, you know, something like that, and then a limited theatrical. You know, like,
something small, nice.
Take the baby steps that we need to. It's, you know, it's from the ground level up. We're doing it all out of pocket.
Yeah,
you know,
takes a lot of work.
And that's
with
the main thing I think people will be able to, you know, appreciate about it. Yeah.
Staten Island Summer, another comedy that you've been working on. What's going on with that? I love the title.
That's another cool kind of like teen movie, and it's a bunch of just comedic talent in that. I really don't know who to start with. Like Zach Perlman, been on the come up, young guy, funny as hell. What's that? Graham Phillip. I think he's been in a bunch of teen flicks,
teen comedies.
Yeah, and then Ashley Green from the Twilight Sagas.
Oh, okay.
Fred Armisen, they threw Big Ange in there. I'm in there.
Oh, wow.
So it's definitely a Staten Island
based.
For sure, and it's about two kids that come here for the summer and work at the swim club.
Okay.
For the summer, you know. And then
this
one thing leads to another, and just a snowball effect, and it's just pure comedy and effery and everything else going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I play Murray. I'm Conco's homeboy, method man. I work at the garage, like the car garage.
Okay.
And then they come through in like the ice cream truck, you know, like him and Redman and How High.
Oh, wow. That seems so fun.
And he looking for some party favors, you know, Zach. And then it's just, it gets out of hand. He invites us to this, like, you know, pool party that happens at the end of the movie. So you got your little Project X / this / that.
Oh, wow.
Element, but it's funny.
I'm looking forward to that. And, you know, a director once said, I think I was watching the interview, and he said, like, it's far more difficult to make comedies than it is like dramas and thrillers. Do you agree?
Yeah. Now that I've been on a set or two, like, you know, Staten Island, some of top 5.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm doing Leo Littles. The thing with the comedy is the timing. And that's really what it is. Like, you got to get the timing. You know, like, everything has to connect. certain marks have to get hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It isn't really about just dialogue and running lines. It's like these punchlines inside a punchline that aren't.
They gotta work.
And everything's not set up the same. Every joke, and it's not really set up like a normal joke is set up with a punchline. And a punchline ending, but
technical a little bit.
Yeah, it does get a little technical with the comedy, with the.
But isn't there like a lot of improvising with comedy?
Well, that's the
for the real
comedians. I don't even want to say that. Don't even let me say that, because some people might not agree. It's not easy, but the improv for some people is more freedom.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, director, actor, it just depends on how much freedom you're comfortable with. Like me, myself, that's good. Freedom is great to have as an actor, but I like to be directed.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm working.
That works better for you?
It's a chain of command here, so, tell me what you're looking for so I can indulge you the correct way, and then, we get what we looking for out of this. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I'm sure it's fun. A lot of laughs on set.
I mean, there's always laughs on set.
Yeah, I can imagine how much fun.
Darkest of comedies and dramas and somebody's gonna mess around, fool around, and do something silly. So and then everybody's doing what they love. So that's the main thing.
Respect the Shooter.
All right.
That's another movie you're working on. You're real busy. That's another movie.
I'm busy trying to stay busy. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is Respect the Shooter wrapped up already? This is a film with French.
I would believe so. I think I can speak on that. I think it's in the bag. I mean, you never know. There's always a reshoot or two, or maybe something that has to get done over or whatever, ADR session, that's voiceover work for sound. And I think it's pretty much in the bag.
Over the years, you acted in similar roles, like seemingly to be typecasted to that gangster, drug dealer, because you do those parts so well. I want you to tell me your frustrations, if any, and, not all the way crossing over or being considered for like bigger roles. Was that like frustrating for you a bit?
Well, the whole thing to it is this: we all want to, get that big break and bust out the woodwork and be a star and just flourish and be as great as you can be. But it's all a process. So now I'd be crazy to sit here and say that I haven't been typecast, and I'd be just as crazy to say anybody else who you would probably consider A-list or whatnot has been typecast. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, you're good at what you're good at. Everything I've heard it from the greats on down, the Al Pacinos, even Terrence Howards and Will Smith's, like, everything's not for everybody.
True.
Sometimes you just gotta go in and know, like, this might not be for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just accept that cup of tea, as opposed to, I mean, you want to challenge yourself, but then, if there's room for improvement and it needs to be improvement, you got to catch yourself at the same time. So, like Sam Jack said, I heard before, like, work is work. You really don't have time as an actor to be worried about being typecast, because then at the end of the day, got bills to pay. Let's just got to keep it real with yourself first. And then know that, okay, you know what, I do have what it takes to go, to take on this challenge or do this. So it's not frustrating until it's frustrating, meaning when you're ready for those challenges, you want those opportunities. So when if the opportunities are limited, that's where the frustration comes in at. Now, for myself, I've had them. I've been able to diversify my portfolio, so to speak. I've been a minority businessman on The Good Wife. Yeah. I've been an FBI detective on The Blacklist. So it's for who wants to kind of take that chance on you as well.
Exactly.
That's what it boils down to too.
Yeah.
And I understand it. It's just the game. I could dig it. I could actually dig it. In this day and age, there's so much talent out here. And none of us are getting any younger from the youngest. From the youngest up. You know what I mean? To us OGs. So you got to take that into consideration too. Like, move over and let give room for who needs to be in that spot. Yeah. And just let this cycle kind of, ball over. But, it's looking better on the upside of things for, I guess, especially minority actors, let's just say.
So being that you're so, used to playing like those type of roles, is like your role in Respect the Shooter, is it a piece of cake? being that you mastered that?
That's a good question because I always kind of tell people don't start getting it twisted now because you're used to seeing a certain, you know, aspect of a person in like films or on television. Like it's just this thug persona or this, you know, this ratchet or hood rat persona or whoever he or she might be. Because I always tell people, I think one of the hardest roles for anybody to play was Nino Brown for Wesley Snipes. Like that's not that easy.
Yeah,
that's just not that easy.
That's different. I'm sure the preparation.
I mean, and it goes on down for the Bumpy Johnson, Laurie Fishburne. I mean, like you know, it's a few out there. The old dogs, Lorenz Tate. Because I like how Lorenz flipped it for us. He turned around and did Inkwell right after that.
Yes.
Like, yo, don't put me in the box.
Yeah, that's greatness, though.
Between that greatness that he possessed and that opportunity. All linked up, the timing and everything, right? And it's one for the book. So you know, it's definitely not easy. You know,
it's never. You wouldn't say it's
I never took anyone's life. I never shot anybody.
Yeah, you have to act.
I don't play with guns. Get out of here, man.
It's all acting.
Yeah, it's just all make believe. A lot of make believe, and just bringing it to life is what you know. Was gratifying. So I gotta take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And these days, how's your preparation? I'm sure is it simpler to memorize lines? With all the experience you have, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, it some of it becomes innate after a while. You know, like with lines. I mean, because nothing's really in sequence. Like you film out of sequence a lot. You know, some productions they do go page for page, but most of the time you don't.
Yeah.
Depending on if it's an exterior and interior shot, you might flip one for the other with the lighting and everything. So you'll go in reverse. So basically my technique is when it comes down to lines and memorizing is I learn everyone else's lines. I know, so it's easier for me. Yeah, because if I know what you're saying, like if I like as far as the subject matter is concerned, my reaction should be more natural now. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's a good technique. Instead of trying to remember lines, because it becomes to a point where you're remembering conversations. Lines. Yeah, exactly. And that's not acting though. Yeah, like remembering that's not acting. Don't go thinking that's a good method of acting. Like just I know my lines, so.
Yeah, because I interviewed an actor before and he said that.
Doesn't mean that you're going to convey the message correctly. So for me, I'm saying everything doesn't work for everybody. What works for me might not work for you, but
that's a great technique, though.
Yeah, I remember the other line. So yeah, I guess you have to have that, you know, that capacity, that brain capacity for memory. But I'm good with that in numbers. I just remember words and numbers.
You just naturally.
Yeah, that's just a thing for me from school.
Like I remember what you said. Don't get it twisted like that.
Yeah. I'm good with that. But I hold on to what people say.
Yeah, we got it cheap, nigga. Patrick Ewing. Birds go for 33. Patrick Ewing.